Hi, everybody. I'm Target 12 investigator Tim White, and I'm joined by my Target 12 colleague, Eli Sherman, who has been tracking the vaccine rollout in the region for months now. Eli, as we talk on this Tuesday afternoon, you just reported that Rhode Islanders might learn a lot more about the vaccine distribution in Rhode Island come Thursday.
That's right, Tim. We just heard from health officials that they plan to unveil the highly anticipated phase 2 grouping of who's going to get the vaccine next. So as folks probably remember or know, currently the state is vaccinating nursing home residents, frontline healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, along with first responders and some high-risk inmates. They have not unveiled who's going to be getting the vaccine next, and we're now anticipating that they will be unveiling that information during their weekly news conference on Thursday.
Do you think we might also get a better idea as to the timeline, Eli, as to when phase 2 might happen, or is that really determined a lot by the federal distribution of vaccines?
Yeah, the state in a lot of ways is beholden to how much supply they get from the feds. And right now it's about 14,000 first doses per week, meaning at best they can get in about 2,000 people, new people each day. And right now the estimation for when they might get to a phase 2 prioritization, the next group of people getting inoculated, is about March or April.
Of course, that timeline could change depending on the rollout you were just talking about. And Eli, in your reporting here, you looked at some other states and you saw that Rhode Island really is lagging, it seems, relative to other states in terms of announcing that rollout.
Yeah, Rhode Island in New England is the only state that has not unveiled the next part of their prioritization plan. And, health officials and a panel of doctors and advisors have been working, I should say, almost weekly on coming up with how they want to proceed. So it's not like nothing has been happening, but as you can imagine, Tim, there are some Rhode Islanders who see folks in other states already know at least roughly when they might be getting a vaccine and are a bit frustrated now not knowing when that might happen in Rhode Island.
And finally, Eli, last question for you. Over the weekend, we heard from Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee, who, of course, is going to take the reins from outgoing Governor Gina Raimondo when she officially becomes U.S. Commerce Secretary. And he said over the weekend in sort of an impromptu news conference that he'd like to see teachers be moved up in the line of those who can receive the vaccine. Just from the casual observer, Eli, it seems like maybe there might be a disconnect between what Dan McKee would like to see as vaccine policy and the Department of Health. How do you view it?
Yeah, well, we're certainly in a point of a bit of limbo right now, right? Because technically Governor Raimondo is still in charge until she is confirmed by the U.S. Senate. And but Dan McKee, who's the lieutenant governor and going to be taking over, he certainly wants to come in with his own set of ideas and priorities. And he's signaling to the health department that teachers should be prioritized under what he'd like to see as part of the vaccine rollout. So as of last week, the health department had been indicating that people's occupation, what they did for a job, would have no bearing on how they were going to prioritize the next group of people. But Dan McKee certainly threw a wrench into that idea when he called this press conference over the weekend to say that teachers, who he argues are key to ensuring that the economy can reopen, need to be vaccinated higher up on the list than perhaps some other people.
Eli Sherman, great job tracking this very complicated issue of vaccine distribution in our region. Make sure you stick with Eli and WPRI.com for the very latest.